Welcome to episode 3 of Cuphead vs. Hazbin Hotel. In this episode, we have two protagonists from their respective universes going head to head. In Hazbin Hotel, we have the Princess of Hell and the daughter of Lucifer, Charlie Morningstar. And in Cuphead, we have a cup that gambled his soul but then successfully defeated everybody he came across, Cuphead. So who wins this fight against two favorite protagonists? Well, let's find out. And another disclaimer that we're using the game version of Cuphead and not the show version, much like King Dice and the devil before him. And I asked you guys on a poll on which version you guys wanted to see, and the majority of you guys said the game version. So with that disclaimer out of the way, let's actually get into the analysis. First off is strength. Let's look at Charlie first. We don't really have a lot of evidence of her strength, but she has shown that he's capable of fending for herself, like blocking attacks from Angel Exorcist, stabbing and throwing Adam across from her, and even blocking a punch from him afterwards. Though this can be thanks to her abilities, but we'll just give her I'll just say that it's all thanks to her strength. And for Cuphead, yeah, Cuphead doesn't do anything in the game to show his strength. And obviously this doesn't include the final super arc, so Charlie gets the first point. Next is speed. Charlie is said to have hypersonic speed, which, in case you don't know, is basically 5 times the speed of sound, or 3,836 miles per hour to about 7,673 miles per hour. Now that is some fast speed. Although we don't really see anything in the show that supports this claim, but Cuphead is said to have supersonic speed, which is only 767 miles per hour. Now this does seem like a bit of an obvious one, but Cuphead has shown his speed throughout the game thanks to all of the different obstacles that he faces, from all different bosses to the running gun gameplays and all the different projectiles and stuff. So this might be a bit of a hot take, but I think Cuphead could take the point here, simply because of the amount of things that he's dodged throughout throughout the game and the DLC. Now let's look at durability. First off, let's look at Cuphead. Now Cuphead is very consistent with his durability, simply because of the number of times that he gets hit from attacks and projectiles from bosses and running gun levels. And this is all thanks to the fact that he does have 3 lives, so he can take 2 hits before dying and continuing to fight the same boss again. And obviously this doesn't include any of the charms that gives him extra lives, or even the Jimmy the Great Easter egg where he gives you 9 extra lives. So yeah. But Charlie, on the other hand, isn't as consistent with her durability, though she can take attacks from Adam, aka the First Man, in case if you guys don't know. But Cuphead has taken attacks from stronger opponents, including the Devil, who, in the Cuphead games, is stronger than Adam in Hazbin Hotel.
No.
Okay, you can stop pushing your luck there, Adam.
Call me Dickmaster.
Okay, get out of the studio. Anyways, since Charlie hasn't taken as many attacks as Cuphead does from all of the different bosses, including the DLC, and the fact that Cuphead has 3 lives before dying, obviously not including the charms or power-ups or whatever they're called, and not the Jimmy the Great Easter egg, this gives Cuphead the point of durability. Now let's look at intelligence. Cuphead in the game doesn't really have much evidence of his intelligence, but considering that you play as Cuphead, Mugman, or Miss Chalice in the games, it mainly goes off of your intelligence. And if you've completed Cuphead and the Delicious Last Course DLC, then you would have to have memorized all of the projectiles, where they come from, and how to defeat all those different projectiles or dodge them. And Charlie, on the other hand, is smart enough to run a hotel, convince other characters in Hell to stay at the hotel and have a change of heart, and even slightly convince the people of Heaven about a sinner being redeemed. Though I kind of might be wrong about this, I haven't really watched the show in a while now. So considering that Charlie does have the sort of street smart where she can try to convince people to do the right thing, and the fact that you play as Cuphead, Mugman, Michalice, etc., and you would have to remember everything about the boss fights, where the projectiles come from, and how to defeat all of them. I'd say that both are tied when it comes to intelligence. Now is experience. Charlie in the show is said to be in her 20s, though I could potentially be wrong about this, so if you do know canonically how old Charlie is in the show, let me know in the comments. And Cuphead in the game is said to be an adolescent, which is around 10 to 19 years old. So I would say Charlie gets the point because of the age gap between the two, because she is almost a year old in Cuphead, though we don't really know how old Cuphead is canonically, so I'd say Charlie gets the point here. Now is the most interesting part of this debate: powers and abilities. First off, let's look at Cuphead. Just to get things out of the way, Cuphead has the pea shooter, spread shot, chaser, lobber, charge shot, roundabout, crack shot, coverage, and twist up. Just for the guns alone. And for the super art, we have the energy beam, which horizontally spills the liquid through Cuphead's head, invincibility, which, as the name suggests, makes the player invulnerable for a short period of time, and maxes out the weapon's attack, and lastly, the giant ghost attack, then which is the character's spirit and body moving around the arena for maximum damage. Okay, now this was a lot of weapons to talk about, and also this doesn't include the plane and those weapons. Charlie, on the other hand, also has a lot of weapons or abilities, but not necessarily as many as Cuphead, or at least that I could find. First off, she can transform into her demon form, as shown in the final battle against Adam. Pyrokinesis, which is the ability to control fire, and she does this a lot. Her demonic powers, which since she's the daughter of Lucifer and is a high-ranked demon of Hell's hierarchy, it's pretty self-explanatory. And conjuration, which is the ability to summon objects out of thin air, like when she made her drawings appear in her hands during her meeting her meeting with Adam. So this is a pretty close one, since Cuphead has a lot of different abilities and super arts, and also all the other charms that I forgot to talk about. And the fact that Charlie has abilities to keep Cuphead at bay for a while, I'd say both of them are tied when it comes to abilities. Battle experience and battle intelligence goes to Cuphead. He's been in a lot more fights. He's fought dragons, genies, shape-shifting clowns, then a dice, a psychotic salt baker, and even the devil himself. There's no way that Charlie can stack up to everything that Cuphead has been through. Charlie gets weapons, because in the season finale it shows that she has a shield and a pitchfork to use against the Angel Exorcist and Adam. Now we've finally come to the end. With all this information that I've gathered thanks to their wikis, and with a little help of you guys playing Cuphead and rewatching Hazbin Hotel a lot for me, the winner of this fight would be Cuphead. Okay, now let me explain, alright? Although Charlie would be a formidable foe for Cuphead to face, there's a lot of things to consider, like Cuphead's battle experience compared to Charlie's, all of Cuphead's abilities, and also the biggest point of all, which is the fact that where the devil would be if he was in the HellaVersus hierarchy. You see, I asked you guys on a poll where the devil would rank if he was in the HellaVersus hierarchy, and as I expected, a lot of you guys said that he would rank at the very top alongside Lucifer. And this was the piece of evidence that really helped me out with this. So if the devil was at the very top of Hell's hierarchy, sharing the throne with Lucifer, and Charlie is lower than her dad, that would technically make the devil more powerful and stronger than Charlie is. And if the devil has been defeated by the Cup Bros in the main story, then that would mean that not only would Cuphead beat Charlie in a fight, but, hear me out on this, also technically defeat the entire HellaVersus. the Cup Bros would literally be on a tier of their own, beating Imps, Hellborns, Sinners, Overlords, the Ars Goetia, the Seven Deadly Sins, Charlie and Lilith, and also this may be a huge stretch, but maybe even Lucifer himself. Because remember, the devil in Cuphead, according to you guys, would be at the very top of the hierarchy. And if Cuphead, Mugman, and Miss Chalice have defeated a higher ranked demon, that would make them even more powerful than any demon ranked in hell. They would literally be on their own tier. Although you guys can debate this, or you guys can debate about this in the comments below. But in the end, Cuphead wins this fight. So do you guys agree or disagree with me? Let me know in the comments. And let me know some matchups that you guys want me to cover on this series. But that's going to be it for today, folks. I've been your host, Lunar Umbreon, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.